There we go. There we go. There we go. Y'all talking smack that I can't ever get anything done? I mean, you're not wrong by far. You're definitely not wrong. What's up, Zesty? What's up, Hater? What's up, Exanimus? What's up, PR? What's up, Pat? How are you guys doing? How's your day been? What's up, Luke? Oh my God, my hair is like, I think I'm gonna clip my hair up. Hi, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You like the empty room vibe? There's still so much I need to put in here. Lion, how are you doing? How's your day been? My eyes are actually feeling a little better today, you guys.
B, I never talk smack. I just speak truth.
I mean, you're not wrong. I definitely cannot fault you for... You're only speaking truth. That's all I can say. Mithrium, what's up? I look more awake. I feel like I look more tired. Lion, how are you doing? Hater, messy bun. Yeah. I just feel like I'm a mess. When we get new glasses, I mean, it's just basically like how you guys have already said. It's probably gonna take me forever to get them done. But anyways, I sent in my prescription to the company who's like sending me my frames. So
are you a
hopefully
bag
not
of
too
potato
long.
chips? Because when I'm done eating you, I'm gonna need to lick my fingers clean Antisera mischief.
Hater, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you, thank you. Exanimus, you're so sweet. DX, how are you? I did do my meal prep today, and I ate very well today. I'm very proud of myself. Very happy with myself. Is it a green sweater? Yeah, it is. It's just like a super freaking massive baggy sweater. I was wearing a tank top earlier because it's super freaking hot in Texas. It's like 100 degrees lately, but you know, it's always cold in here around me, so I got cold. Vodka, welcome to the stream. We're so happy to have you here. How are you doing?
Hello
Pat?
from Texas. Again, lol. With a name like Sugarland, though I was expecting rivers of chocolate and UMPA Loompas lol.
How do you like Sugarland? Is that your first time being in Sugarland? What do you think about it? That's the true question. Brian, how are you doing? Mesa, what's up? Mimo, now eating, who are you? I know, I've turned over a new leaf, you guys.
Protons have mass. I didn't even know they were Catholic.
Hi, thank you for the donation. This will be even a shorter stream. You know how I've been saying that, like I'll be streaming for like 45 minutes? This one's gonna be even shorter because I have a lot of paperwork I have to do after this. I'm so tired. I feel like my eyes, they're better than they were yesterday. My eyes are just extremely, extremely sensitive. So they're trying their best, but they are just like freaking out lately. And then like I was saying yesterday, like you know how when you wear a prescription that's not right for you, it's like it just gives you a headache. So it is what it is. Maybe through sheer force of will, I can heal my eyes. That would be
What's next?
epic.
You gonna tell us that you're actually sleeping?
I have been actually sleeping. You guys aren't even gonna believe this. If anything, I'm sleeping too
Girl,
much.
are you a bag of flamin' hot Cheetos? Because I'm going to rip the towel bar off the wall when I try to pass you 10 to 12 hours later.
Moscow, thank you for the bits. Ceci, thank you for the bits. Two
B, you're
Rivers,
so
what's
beautiful.
up? Thank you so much, Two Rivers. Yeah, believe it or not, well, actually too, I was kind of worried, I might have gotten COVID
And
like
Bianca
the
and
third
Antisera,
time.
you weren't nearly hyped enough about my thick hot ropey 10-person stream. I was expecting some working.
I'm sorry, Hive. Thank you so much for the raid. That is epic of you, Hive. Thank you so much for the raid. I truly appreciate it. I'm super proud of all of your progress with you beginning streaming. I apologize that I did not make a bigger deal out of it, Hive. You deserve it. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Hive. That breaks my heart. I'm so sorry.
It is, I like it. It's like a hot and sticky version of the nicer areas of Atlanta, very polished and bougie.
Super bougie. That's my stomping grounds right there, Pac. That's my stomping grounds.
How does
Sugarland.
it feel to make so many people smile when you show up? I am outie because I be a little drunk.
What have you been drinking, Nemesis? Thank you for the bits. Hi, thank you so much for the donation.
Again and give you another chance.
Hi, I'm telling you, I am super proud of your progress for Twitch and everything. Actually, are you actually like rating? What? How are you doing that again? Oh, you're replaying it. I see. I gotcha. Hi. Thank you so much for the raid. I am so impressed. Wow, Hive. Wow. You're doing such a good job. Congratulations on this epic raid. That is so insane. I'm surprised my stream didn't die. Hi. Thank you. Is my stream still okay? Or did it destroy it? Hi. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you, thank you. Kix, thank you so much for the follow.
2 whole years.
F3, thank you so much for the follow. Nikki, thank you so much for being a tier 3 sub for 24 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nikki, we've missed you. How are you doing?
If you've not checked your PO box since July 20th, you might want to.
I
Something
did.
is waiting for you.
I did check it. I know I've been slacking, you guys. I have been stuck at work for freaking ever, but I checked it.
Keep looking for you to twerk B. Did you not hear the request, lol?
Come on now. PR, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you. What's up, Ice? How are you? What's up, Ren? Yeah, it'll be a super short stream today. Because I have a lot of paperwork that I have to fill out. I cry. Sadness.
Hive's villain arc starts now. The cataclysm is upon us.
His villain arc? I don't know. I feel like he's like maybe an anti-hero or something like that, you know? Not fully a villain, but also not fully the hero. I don't know what I would classify Hive as. Not fully a villain.
Whiskey and I am going because you don't need to hear the ravings of a drunken madman.
Whiskey? I have this beer I just opened up. You guys have probably had it before. It's an IPA.
Heidi,
it's called
looking
Mini Boss.
pretty today.
This cracks me up too. It says, all your hop or belong to us. Get it? Like the super old saying from whenever they were trying to like translate games into English. It's like, all your base belong to us. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all get the reference? I'm probably butchering the original saying, but I know the reference. And so I thought it was adorable. So I was like, you know what? Let me try this. And, I've just been so freaking tired. Susie, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, I've been having such a rough week at work. Oh my god, it's crazy. It's been like absolute madness. And I'm like, I just do not understand how all this
Speaking
is
of
so
villain
chaotic.
arcs, I sent you the MHA visual with the Season 6 release date announcement. Get hyped for October 1st.
Season 6 is releasing on October 1st?
I'm definitely
Of this year?
It's Emily Bronte style moronic hero like Heathcliff.
Hi, you're talking so much smack. It's it. Am I back? Can y'all see me again? Am I back? Hello, friends? I think I'm back. I think I'm back. Maybe I'm not back. I think I'm back. I am back. Okay, cool. Well, part of my stream is back. My stuff is all delayed on StreamLabs. I still don't understand why. Like, yesterday I didn't have any problem with this, and yet now, again, it's happened. I don't know what's up with that. Indy, how are you doing? How's your day been? Bando, how much vacation do you get with this job? I mean, my vacation is like, I can't technically take vacation for I think like 6 months or something like that. Like I'm accruing it during this time, but I can't take it yet. But also too, I mean, I could still take off work if I needed to, you know, like within reason, I'm sure. If I wanted to go to Japan, I don't think they would try to stop me. Hater, how long is this job gonna be for? Quite a while. Quite a while. I would assume a few years would be my anticipation of it. So we shall see. It is a permanent position. And they also requested a certain things from me, so that being said, to be able to actually deliver on those things that I have agreed to, it will probably be a while. Insanity, thank you so much. Can't be here.
Sadly, I can't see her today since I'm working. Chat hit her with the really brain-tickling questions and you Velma Dinkley eat and sleep. I know you won't, but still gonna say it.
You know I won't, yeah. What? Hey, no, I've been better at sleeping and I've been better at eating. I have been.
How are they adjusting at work to your new standards? Usually there's pushback when you're trying to make changes in an organization.
Oh, there's definitely been pushback. For sure.
Need Hive
That's
to
the
come
biggest
over and
struggle.
check your internet and also deliver a pizza, and what's that you don't have any money? Well, you can pay in other ways. I accept Bitcoin, and also you can tie me down and spit on me. Or also
Hi, thank you. Thank you for the donation. My goodness. Pack, yeah, that's definitely always the hardest part. Like, especially too, when you're in a situation where people... Or is it back now? Maybe? Am I talking to myself and you guys can hear me? You guys can, huh? Oh yeah, y'all can. I was like, here I am just like talking to myself. But I guess it's working. Exanimus, what's up? Retsu, what's up? It is back. Good deal. I don't understand why sometimes... Oh, you know what? It did start raining really bad today. That's probably why. We're also gonna blame Retsu for breaking my stream. You know what? It was probably Hive's epic raid. Hive, that is what had to have happened. Your epic raid destroyed my stream. You didn't do an epic raid yesterday, or it wasn't epic enough. Today it was more epic. Therefore, it broke my stream. Dirk, welcome to the stream. We're so happy to have you. How are you doing? Reeve, what's up? How are you? James Bond, what's up? How are you? Cypher, thank you so much for the follow.
Hey girl, wanna role play? You be an Erlenmeyer flask, I'll be water. I'll make you wet the whole time I'm in you Craigasm.
Hater, thank you for the bits. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Reg, you got Final Fantasy Online? Is that what you said? Okay, now my stream is kind of coming back, or at least on my screen. Maddie, thank you so much for the follow. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Knack, what is up? You haven't been on a Just Chatting stream? You're on a Just Chatting stream without my glasses on too. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that so insane? I hope my new glasses suit my face. I tried on like a ton of them because they don't make the frames that I wear anymore. So it'll be interesting to see how they suit my face. I feel like they're they make me look like an Uber librarian is how I think I look. But it also suits like my job a little bit too, I guess. You know, it do be like that sometimes. They'll definitely suit your face, Uber librarian. Yeah. Like literally all the people in the store was like, yeah, you look like a librarian. I was like, all right, good deal. DX, did Kimchi ever make it? No, Kimchi has not made it to the vet yet. No, I've been slacking hardcore. Hardcore. Mythrium, the internet can't handle the donation, but every time it freezes. Ah, it's not on your end, it's definitely on my end.
Don't worry about FF. She doesn't play it anymore.
That's not true.
In fact, word is she isn't the best red mage anymore. Not even in the top 10%.
You guys can try. You guys can try to overtake me as the best red mage, but
OMGB,
you can't.
look amazing. How much do you like fitness?
I'm not falling for that Hive. Come on now. Come on. Hive, thank you. Thank you for the donation. Pat, thank you for the bits. Thank you,
Fitness,
Pat.
do you can you move?
It's your move. I knew that was coming. I knew it was. Cypher, you're so sweet, Cypher. Thank you so much. We're so happy to have you here. Pack, I do want to get back to Final Fantasy, and that's one of the things too. I was even saying today, my little friend that I have at work now, the one that I tried to fit her scooter in the back of my car. I was like, I feel like in the past, like I had time to like play Final Fantasy and stuff. Like, I don't know how I possibly had time for that. This is crazy. Yeah, Scooter Girl, bless her heart. I just love her to death. We have some adventures. We have some adventures. Scoot, scoot. Scoot, scoot. We call her SS for short. That is so funny. Oh, bless her heart. She is so sweet.
Hey B, I think I finally figured out what that guy was talking about with your tires now.
Okay,
lol.
then give me the scoop on what that means then, Eric. I'm gonna look to you for guidance, because Lord knows I don't understand what that means. SS for short. Luke, you downloaded the Overwatch 2 beta and you're waiting. Yes, and I want to play that too. Oh my god. I swear, it's like I'm at work for well over 60 hours a week, and then also doing my school things that I have, and I'm on 2 research projects as well. Like, I'm on 2 like research internships. So it's like by the time I get home, I'm so tired, and it's crazy. Crazy. So crazy. So crazy. We already had time because you didn't sleep or eat and played all night. That's true. There were times I'd stay up to like 3 o'clock in the morning. But also too, I wasn't on a contract, you know, so that definitely makes a difference. Hater, when you have time to do them hot squats in the park. I haven't even really been working out much. I'm trying to get back into it. I went on a run not too long ago, and my legs are destroyed. But I also think that I'm getting sick again. I had COVID twice. I might have it 3 times.
To be called the SS Lull. If that were the case, B would be the first to go, gypsy as she is.
Said that so weird. The first to go. Hi, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you, thank you. Hater, you've been waiting in the bush patiently, just waiting forever. Yeah, so, one of the doctors that works with me ended up, like, getting COVID, and so I was like, oh man. Because then, too, like, a few days ago, I was like, you know, I've been feeling a little off. I've been, like, sleepier than usual. Like, even when I go to bed, I mean, it's almost, like, impossible for me to get up in the morning. And I'm like, why am I so tired? This is crazy. I think my body's just trying to, like, recoup.
Yeah,
You know?
something about this SS stuff seems fishy. Can't quite put my finger on it, thinking face.
Mithrium, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you. Thank you. Daft, thank you so much for the follow. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Rumby, she gonna get you? Who's gonna get me? The doctor contaminated me? Yeah, well, I mean, also where I work, I would not
Can
be
I
surprised
borrow
if
some
I
of
caught
your
it again.
executive functioning? I'd like to function just enough so my mother doesn't have to dress me anymore. Don't worry though, you'll still have the sole privilege of undressing the Antisera
That's what's
nosebleed.
most important, Moscow. That's what's most important. Pack, thank you for the bits. Moscow, thank you for the bits. Got caught reading Plath during a Zoom call today. Forgot the video was on. I blame you, you're corrupting me.
So on the sidewalls of tires sometimes there can be bubbles protruding out, and that's why I think he called it a titty.
Yeah, that's what he said. When it pook out like that is were his
Hail
exact
Hydra.
words. Nemesis, what's up? I'm happy you're still here. I'm happy you're still here. Plath is everything. Absolutely everything. I'm telling you, if there was ever, I was even talking about Plath today at work as well. I was like, if there was ever a person that understood the way that my mind probably worked in written form, it would be Plath, which is very sad. I don't want my story to end like hers, like I keep saying, but it's funny too, because like anytime I buy those books, people are like, oh yeah, she's just such an amazing writer, but you know, it's just so sad how her story ends. It's like, yeah, I know how it ends. Sadness. Retsu, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you, thank you. I don't know why sometimes it's reading and sometimes it's not. I think you got your chaos this week, B. New dishwasher was installed broken. Both the water blade things were broken. Landlord entered the old house. I still have under lease without giving me any notice. Take this chaos back. Take it back. I don't know. Maybe it's just, I feel like I'm gonna fall out of this chair. I don't know, maybe I'm just infecting people with, maybe I'm infecting people with my chaos. That is quite possible, who knows. I try to live a calm and relaxing life, but for some
I
way,
saw
somehow,
another
it
picture
responds
of
me.
Plath I hadn't seen before, and she looked a lot like Charlotte Gainsbourg, who is the first person I would cast as Plath in a biopic.
I don't know what Charlotte Gainsbourg looks like, honestly. Even too, I feel like the photos of Plath that I have seen, I feel like I would recognize Plath if I saw a photo of her, of course, but I also feel like we don't really have, I don't know, you know, all the photos of her, especially like from that time period, her voice recordings are very epic with her reciting
Everyone
her own
wanting to
poetry.
understand your mind, but I want to understand your heart.
Nemesis, understand your mind and your heart. Aren't those like two sides to the same coin though, in a way? Wouldn't you have to have both, I would think?
Her
Both
thoughts on
portions?
relationships are so interesting, but also I was shocked on her ideas and talks on philosophy, religion, and even politics were refreshing.
Pat, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I mean, it's very curious, right? It's very curious. I don't agree with her on everything, as we've kind of, like, gone forward with, but
I saw another picture of
I
Plath
think
I
her
hadn't
takes
seen
on-
before, and she looked a lot like Aerith Gainsborough, who is the first person I would cast as Plath in a biopic if I wanted her to be a hot FF character.
Aerith. She doesn't look anything like Aerith, but I do get the Gainsborough part. Clever, Hive, clever. Thank you for the donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, I don't agree with Plath on everything, especially whenever it comes down to certain types of topics. However, I think the way that she writes and like just understanding her mind with like emotions is absolutely beautiful. But yes, there are there's quite a few things that I don't necessarily agree with her about. But that's also what's interesting. It's always very curious to see the differences.
I was
between
just
the two.
thinking some parts of her I can see some relation to you, but other parts I couldn't even imagine
Yeah.
you sharing that mindset.
Definitely. There's definitely some things that I'm like, nah, yeah, I don't agree with that, but...
Oh, I don't agree with her, she was way progressive. But interesting take on war and spirituality.
Mhm.
I can appreciate her without agreeing.
Very true. Very true. Kuro, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you. Pac, thank you for the bits. I really appreciate you. Yeah, she has some very interesting takes on quite a bit of stuff, but man, her writing is just so beautiful. Especially about like the monotony of daily life and how like some people are okay with it and some people aren't. And I feel like that's like one of the first things in the beginning of her like unabridged journals when she says like how some people are okay just setting the table and making dinner and like that's okay, like that's enough. But why is it not enough for some people? Like, but she can also understand how people would get caught up in like the routine of that. It's crazy. Bando, Amazon's Matrix is wondering why Plath books sales. I don't. Oh, I get what you mean. When you said Matrix, I was like the Matrix? I was like, I'm not understanding how any of these things are like correlating with one another. But I see now. Retsu, you're gonna have to start reading or listening to the book. The journal is really good. It's big, but also too, it's like you can read it in little bits
If you
and
had
pieces here
Elon
and there.
money, what would you do with your time?
If I had Elon money, I'd probably be doing what Elon was doing. Probably. I mean, I would be putting money into like energy resources. I mean, SpaceX and stuff like this is so freaking epic. I would definitely be funding research. I think research is like a huge fulfillment for me. And like there's some things that I've been a part of recently and I was like, this is absolutely insane. And like the effect that can have on so many people is just absolutely outstanding that we're even capable of doing these types of things. If I had money, like crazy money, I'd have my own lab and I'd fund my own research. It would be insane. I mean, obviously too, like you get fundings from other places as well and they can utilize your lab for specific things. But that would definitely be something that I'd have. I feel like that would just be so cool. It'd be amazing.
But she thought that the two were mutually exclusive. Wifey mode and dreams didn't mix.
Right.
So would your ideal partner help not hinder your own dreams, and in what optimal way?
Well, I don't think that you can ever be in a relationship and hinder somebody's dreams. Like if you hinder somebody's dreams, there's always going to end up with a resentment, right?
The
You have
longest
to help them
sufferer of
fulfill it.
HIV has been cured recently, FYI, pretty cool.
Yeah, so I haven't fully looked into that, but I assume too, I mean, it's very curious with HIV just to begin with, because it's a retrovirus, which has actually been used extensively in research. But I'll need to read up more about that. But isn't it interesting too that even like hepatitis C and stuff, like that we now have a cure? Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. It's so crazy what research has done. Con, thank you so much for the follow. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you. path, mutually exclusive. But yes, I think that most people, like I always say, have like this northern star that kind of like pulls them along through life. And I don't think that you can ever snuff that out and be in a proper relationship.
Would it be a physics lab or a medical or the combination of the two?
It'd probably be a combination of the two. I love medical research. I love it. But also too, I think that physics, in a sense, I think a lot of times people don't like understand like the bridge between the two. And essentially like the easier way to just look at it is, like if you look at things from like a bioengineering standpoint, like you have like literally biomedical engineers. And physics deals a lot with
Buttercup,
engineering
thank
as well.
you for always been a highlight of the week for everyone. You are
You're
indeed
so
an individual
sweet.
with heart
Thank
of pure
you.
gold. Always keep that adorable smile of yours and the little giggles, and please no COVID.
Yeah, please no COVID. I do not want to have COVID again. That would suck. I have too much
People
work
in
to do.
relationships think you have to sacrifice or compromise, but what you need to do is collaborate. You are a team after all.
That is true. I mean, yes, and I mean there's definitely a portion of compromise regardless. But yes, it does essentially need to be a collaboration. You both want to like add to each other. You don't want to subtract from each other. But yes, about like the medical and physics bridge between the two. I mean, there's very interesting things just in general that can be done. And like, for instance, just like basic things. Like there was someone who had like a leg amputation. And so with this leg amputation, this person, like prostheses are extremely, extremely, extremely expensive. And this individual like clearly did not have the funds to be able to have like a proper fitting prosthesis. And so this prosthesis was like causing all kinds of issues for this individual. And I was like, it's also so heartbreaking because like, especially now with like 3D printing and so forth, like the ability to create so much in this time is just like absolutely outstanding, to where it's like you could theoretically make a prosthesis that is way less than what they have currently on the market. And so an individual like that, I mean, it's like, it's cool too, because whenever you're doing some things that you're like funding with research, you can actually make these things and like give them away for free, because essentially it is being used in the study and in the trial. But that was something that I was like, it breaks my heart to just even see this, especially to know that there is such a simple fix to it, at least in our current time. But there's a whole plethora of things that you can do. You can go into exoskeletons, you can go into all this type of stuff that is very curious whenever you're looking at like medicine just in general. Or it's like if you're talking about like fractures per se, like if somebody had like some massive fracture, and the way that obviously the bone breaks is it isn't always like a clean break. Say like osteoporosis.
Agree, we're funding medical research, and I was shocked the financing gaps on things that were both needed as well as profitable. The problem is big medical and pharma is almost an industrial monopoly.
Yeah, like the cost to make an item and what it actually sells for is just like incomprehensible. But yeah, like with the ability to be able, the only issue is too is that once you start putting these types of things into the market too, that you start compromising the economy as a whole. Like there's nothing that is just without risk, just like in general in life. But also kind of like oh yeah, okay, so like with the fractures, like let's say that you have a fracture, you have something that like a bone that's extremely porous, like osteoporosis, so it can't really like hold a pin. Let's say that if you I know you can't really see my leg, really, kind of. Let's say if you're gonna like put a pin or something like that in my leg and it wasn't healthy bone tissue, we actually have like, there's these polymers that you can actually fill the gap with, and then you can actually cure it with a light, so it'll harden into those cracks, and so it'll actually obviously improve the stability of that fracture. So instead of pinning it, like with an actual metal pin that is like super freaking big, super chunky, you can actually like fill it and cure it, and it will then be stable for that individual, which is outstanding, right? That's crazy. Instead of having to take like literal hardware and drill something into bone that may or may not even be able to take. You know? Isn't that so cool? I mean, because you can think about things too. Like, let's say, like, we can take Wolverine, for example, right? Like, with him, it's like you have these things like adamantium, or that make his bone, like, extremely, extremely strong. I was like, we have these issues where it's like, let's say calcium. Let's say if we had something that could take the receptor of calcium that is far stronger than calcium, let's say like adamantium, and for whatever reason, if it would bind to that receptor, you would then have a skeleton that is far stronger than a traditional human skeleton. Obviously, we are nowhere near that close because things have problems. We can't just replace, you know, you can't just take calcium. It causes a huge plethora of problems. But that's not to say that there wouldn't be something in the future that we could have that could say that could bind to a receptor or something instead of that. So I mean, there's just like all interesting. There's so much research out there, and that's one of the cool things too. Riffin, what's up? How are you doing? Hater, I'm gonna need you to develop a needleless injector like a hypo spray from Star Trek. You won't have to be strapped to a table to get your shot. Yeah.
Please keep talking real-life comic book science to us.
Zesty, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you, Carol. But, you know, it's interesting too, because it's like, at some point you kind of feel that it's like, okay, well, in medicine, just in science, that there is so much that's already been developed that you can't even comprehend, like, the new things. Like, almost that, like, we're at the end of it, right? Like, we're at the end of science's exploration to be able to create new things. But we are so far from that.
Would your focus be on progressive technology, or making things more affordable, or both?
I mean, to me personally, I like progressive technology, and I would also like it to be within a reasonable price point.
We're actually looking at doing most of our innovative financing in other countries because the process for medical testing is cost prohibitive. I think the political bureaucracy stymies innovation.
Yes, well, and one of the things is too, is like, because whenever you're looking at insurance companies per se, like, let's say for instance, you have like a bottle of saline, say like an average bottle of saline, which is like literally salt water, that costs about like $50. Does it actually cost $50? No. I mean, the actual price to produce that in bulk is very, very low. But the thing is too, is that the insurance companies will fight to basically agree on a bill. So yes, I mean, all of it is absolute madness. And the thing is too, is like, you may say, like, let's say your surgery cost you an absurd amount of money. Like, the money that is actually going to the people who are actually involved in that surgery are very slim. So people will think like, oh, my surgery costs like $80,000, something absurd, and like the surgeon is getting like $70,000. That's not the reality of the situation. Which is also unfortunate. And two, like, people who are in medicine, like, they feel the pain too. You get into medicine because you're dedicating yourself to the care of others. So it's not just to like bleed and hemorrhage money from you. You know, it's just, there are things that are in place that are kind of beyond the control of other people. But, you know, it's whenever it comes down to like actually creating things, I think in general, like, of course you want money in a way to like keep your lab open and to hopefully have money to like invest into additional research. But yeah, to have an absurd amount, like to say, this is a cardiac medication that can keep you alive, but you know, if you want to live, you're gonna have to pay like a crazy amount of money. Like, I don't think that's ethical, but I mean, bioethics are very curious and very difficult to traverse just in general, you know? Last in Canadian, even the Canadian healthcare system has its issues. We all have our issues, you know? All of us do. But it's just very curious whenever you look at things, because specifically too, like Tanya, like, it just broke my heart with this one like prosthesis situation, because I was like, this should not be happening. Like, and you can rectify it simply. You know, is it maybe at this point gonna be as strong as like the carbon fiber, you know, prosthesis that they have? I mean, no, but I mean, we can get there at some point, you know, if we just start working towards it a little better, you know? My goodness. Detail, did you hear about the mice that they were able to extend their lives by 40% by adjusting their genes? No, I didn't. But that's another thing too with like bioethics, right? Detail. I'm not saying I'm above that at all. I mean, but also too, I mean, just to be like devil's advocate, like at what point do you draw the line? At what point is it, hey, we're gonna eradicate this terrible disease, and then, hey, well, now anything that could be possible, we're also gonna eradicate? And then at what point does something become harmful versus beneficial? You know, where's the line? I don't know. I struggle with one, too, like being in research now full time. I mean, bioethics is a very strong point in my career currently. So, I mean, it's curious. It's very curious. GMX, thank you so much for the follow. I really, really appreciate you. Hi, do you think PLAS, electroshock, and insulin shock therapy she got in college affected her brain for later works? Some people swear by ECT to this day, but a shocking electric organ can cause crossed wires, and she was already off. ECT, electroshock therapy, is the one thing in my career I have always refused to do. So for those of you guys who do not know what it is, you may have seen things in the past where literally you are shocking someone. And you see this a lot in like the olden days whenever people were always being sent to like mental institutions if anything was wrong. So that being said, ECT therapy is prescribed for people where nothing else has worked. So you start off with like therapy, then you go into like your pharmacology, and you have your anxiolytics, like your anti-anxiety medications, your antidepressive medications, which there are tiers of those as well. Mithrium, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you. And so then you get like all the way down from like lower levels of medications all the way up to like the higher ones, which we call the MAUIs. And they basically, we don't like to prescribe those because they're the stronger ones, but they react with like literally everything. So the last final thing is ECT, which is literally shocking someone to induce a seizure. It's like literally an overload of the electrical conduction in the brain. So that being said, people do this when they're so beyond depressed that that is like literally their only option. Now that being said, when I was a student, going through my psych rotations and so forth, I was involved in an ECT where I literally saw a grown man, like one, Brian, what's up? Welcome to the stream. We're so happy to have you here. Wonderful conversation for you to come into. But he underwent ECT, which is once again medically inducing a seizure. And then afterwards, he stood there and looked at the sink and could not figure out how to turn the sink on. And to me, Bubba, thank you so much for the follow. I really, really appreciate you. For me personally, ethically speaking, I could not knowingly cause a seizure to someone, like do something to someone knowing what I'm doing, knowing that I could be harming someone, ethically speaking. Now, are other people gonna do that? Of course. Do other people do that? Yes, of course. Me personally, I do not do ECT on my patients because it is something morally I feel like I cannot do. Like, especially with like my Nightingale oath, which is essentially like a Hippocratic oath for doctors, like to do no harm. I cannot knowingly look at somebody and induce a seizure in them. To me personally, that is just something that I just could not do. But once again, people do it. Yep. Kuro, detractor recovery did actually help. Of the people who get it done, many of them swear by it. Many of them swear that it makes them feel better temporarily. It is very rarely a lasting thing. And this is like major depressive disorder. MDD, major depressive disorder. Sven, thank you so much for the follow. I really, really appreciate you. Detail your ethics. Yeah, it's Drake, what's up? How are you doing? Oscarine, how are you? Hater, I know, right? Like, Brian, can you send your Discord family here to vibe
Can't
with
do
you?
harm.
You most
Then
certainly
how do
can.
you explain all the hearts you've taken?
That would be very appreciative. Very appreciative. Much appreciate. PR can't do any harm, then how to explain all the hearts you've taken. Oh, you're so sweet. I mean, but then also too, like moral and ethically speaking, like being in research now currently, that's also a very interesting situation to deal with, right? I'm Sophia. Luke, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the stream. We're so happy to have you here. Q. Oh my god. I'm not wearing my glasses, you guys. This is overload for my eyes. I can't see any. My eyes. 52, welcome to the stream. We're so happy to have you here. Danny, how are you? Lecky, how are you? Punch, how are you? Discord family, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. I broke my glasses yesterday, so I can't really fully see everything, but I'm trying my best. Carol, can't do contacts. There's one thing in medicine I feel like I can't stand, and that's eyes. Eyes freak me out so bad. Anytime somebody comes in the ER and something's wrong with their eyes, I'm just like, I can't look. Pat, thank you so much for the bits. The ghost stalker experience. I mean, it's super freaky at my job. I'll go into that here in a second. Ford, how are you doing? Yakuza, I'm Mike, Punch, Danny, 52, Q's, Nick, Kuya, Luke, Choru, Forever, Rilo. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you guys. Thank you. Zesty, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you, BL, do no harm. Also, B, ties of Retsu, the Bacon of Leeway, experimentation. Free to be me, welcome to the stream. We're so happy to have you here. But yeah, I mean, my job is a very creepy location that I work at. But then also too, so it's like dealing with research, especially whenever you're talking about like medical research, it can be very difficult as well too, because it's like sometimes people have no choice. Like let's say that they have some terrible condition or some terrible thing that's befallen them throughout their life.
Any more ghost stalker experiences at work?
Bert Diggity, thank you so much for being a sub for 12 months. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Leah, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
B. I will do no harm. Also B. Ties of up Retsu in the basement for illegal experimentation.
Yeah. Toter, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate you. But yeah, too, it's like sometimes you have these people to where it's like their quality of life is so low, so I can understand them signing themselves up for research and so forth. But then also too, I mean, it's not always easy, you know. Bioethics, it's you know, not black and white. It's definitely a gray, it's very blurred line sometimes. Eric, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you.
My dad had a gastric sleeve operation a few years ago where they removed 80% of his stomach and his diabetes was reduced by half of all the medications he was taking. It's interesting how that happened, but no idea why.
Huh. Maybe from the decrease of food? They removed 80% of his stomach, his diabetes was reduced by half. Yeah, so it may possibly be because of his diet changes, because I assume he's type 2 at that point, so, by changing his diet, that probably vastly affected his levels. So what happens too is like whenever you have diabetics, let's say for instance, they have like sugar, your blood sugar spikes, and then for normal people who do not have diabetes, it will come back down. So you have kind of like a bell curve. But whenever you have people that their bodies are no longer with their pancreas secreting insulin, they will spike and then they kind of very slowly will start to come down. So whenever you have an alteration in diet is usually one of the main things dealing with diabetics. So that's probably why his levels have decreased. So, I'm very happy for him, Eric.
Hey
very
girl,
happy for
speaking of medical research, I got an experiment I want to try with you. Can I infect you with a parasite for 9 months? Craigasm.
Hater, thank you for the bits. Thank you. What was I talking about? Oh, okay. So where I work, like I've kind of explained to you guys like before, we have different areas that like replicate and are for like different types of things. Drac, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the stream.
It's Six and Baltar trying to warn you that your research is heading down a dangerous road, yet again. When them Cylons attack, I'm blaming you.
Do I have like a Cylon? You guys think I have a Cylon in my head too? It kind of like guides me and tries to like stop me from doing things. I'm gonna fall off this chair. Watch me just wiggle my way in here. So we have these rooms that, you know, replicate different things or are used for different things. And there's this one room in particular that they monitor the light levels, which are like a lux level. And so in these rooms, the light that's in there is extremely dim. Like you can barely see anything. Like every time I go in that room, it's like playing Phasmophobia. It is crazy. And so anyways, today I had to let some like maintenance guys in there.
I want to ask you about that ECT
They were
patient
not
who
fans.
didn't know how to operate the sink. Is there a sort of neurological rehabilitation option available to patients such as him?
Yes.
Is this analogous to the way people recover from major
Moscow, thank you so much for the bits. Is there some sort of neurological rehabilitation? Usually it dissipates within, let's say, about 2 to 3 days after the ECT that it becomes to be better. Usually they like to say that that type of neurological disorientation will go away within 2 to 3 days, typically is what we can see. However, of course, there's always the caveat of there may be irreparable damage that cannot be overcome. But yes, you essentially need to continue to reorient them back to things. You have to continue to remind them how to turn on the sink, and that one is cold and that one is hot. You have to monitor them during this period to make sure that they don't accidentally harm themselves by not having the cognition and the information needed to like make these decisions of daily life. I wouldn't say that it's the same as like for major invasive surgeries. It's not that. It's because like let's say major invasive surgeries, you have to learn to walk again. You have to deal with difficulties like with swallowing so they don't aspirate, using like fine motor skills instead of like grand gross skills. You're like fine motor skills like touching your nose and stuff like that. They don't necessarily lose that part of it from what I've seen. Once again, I'm not an expert on ECT and I do not perform ECT, but they still will have their basic mobility and movement. It's just more so the labeling within their mind of an item, to where it's like, this would be, logically speaking, like how to turn on a light switch. This is how to like turn on the sink. They have their motor function, but their cognition is kind of out, almost to where it's dissipated. A lot of this, I almost want to say like long-term memory type things. It does come back typically, but I think in a sense that's kind of why they enjoy it, because for a moment you forget a lot. Like you've literally just like overloaded your brain with so much electricity that it is in a sensory overload for a moment, to where you don't have the capacity to really like recall things properly. And in time that dissipates, theoretically. But once again too, I am not an ECT professional. I do emergent psych, as in a crisis intervention, as in somebody is a threat to themselves or a threat to others, and that type of situation, and I medicate those patients. But when it comes down to a long progressive therapy and long-term options such as ECT is something that I personally do not have much experience with. Some total random, thank you so much for the follow. Messy, thank you so much for the follow.
Can I say I love the medical jargon chat? You indeed make it interesting with your analysis and approach. We need more of this. Will you be making life-size model of yourself in the lab?
I'm gonna clone myself. Wouldn't that be awesome? Like awesome. Clone myself. Ethan, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate you. PR's electrical contractor, this combo is giving me anxiety. Jose, how are you doing? Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing too. I mean, it can be something very interesting to see, you know? And then too, it also breaks my heart where it's like, you are so sad. You are literally so sad. You may possibly, I mean, but that too can be difficult, because Ethan, I came here because of medical related stuff. Me, physio student. Well, welcome. We are so happy to have you here, Ethan. If you ever have any questions, feel free to ask them and I will do my best to answer them for you. But this is another thing too. It's like we do not allow like euthanasia, right? Like people deciding like an assisted, you know. Here's some words I'm not supposed to say on Twitch, which is why I'm watching the things that I say. But there's some things that you cannot do assisted. You can't just say, hey, it's my time to go, you guys. Help me. Just pass on and carry on, you know? So that being said too, it's the same thing too, just like with ECT. You know, it's like there are some things, it's like I'm doing something, but then also too, it's like, is that ethical? I don't know. That's the struggle. Nurse Jake, welcome to the stream. We are so happy to have you here. What's your background? As in, I'm assuming you're talking about like my medical background, is what I'm assuming, or my educational background. Most likely not talking about the super blank background I have back here. Michael, thank you so much for the follow. I assume you're asking about my educational background. Therefore, I have my bachelor's in nursing. I did neurosurgery in the beginning, and then I ended up transitioning into the ER where I focused on level 1 trauma, so the gunshots, the stabbings, that kind of thing. And I am now currently in research, and I'm at the end of my second bachelor's, which is in physics, which I'm then applying for my PhD for. So physics and medicine, essentially, in a nutshell. We're not talking about the white void. Metallica, what's up? How are you doing? How are you? How are you? Looks pinkish. It does look pretty pink, huh? It's like a pinky purple. Pinky purple. But yes. I don't know. I don't know if you're asking about my educational background or my super blank walls, but there. I guess I've answered both possibilities. It's not all white. It has like 3 color gradients. Right? Harley, what's up? Have you been asked to do one of those assisted perma-retirements in a state that allows it? I have never been asked to do it personally. I've never been asked to do it personally. Now, however, in many places we do have things like hospice, and that is a completely different story and a completely different conversation for another time.
But you can say that about most things in medical. Cutting into a person isn't necessarily the most ethical thing, out of context. Where does B draw from for your ethical and moral compasses?
We should have a whole, we should talk about that tomorrow. That'd be a good conversation. That's a good question. Pack, thank you so much for the bit. Nurse Jake, that's what I'm up to. Pretty much only work in emergency room, and folks worked at several level 1s. So travel nurse, me too. I was a travel nurse until I recently started in research. So that's the bulk of my time. It's always being a travel nurse. Crazy times, crazy times. That'd be a good stream for tomorrow. Yeah, we should talk about like bioethics, and we can talk about things like hospice and all that kind of stuff. And if you guys have any questions, morally speaking, about medicine, if you guys have any questions just about medicine in general, once again, I cannot tell you guys what to do. I cannot offer you advice as I am not your doctor. But if you ever had questions about certain things that happen in medicine, do I know all the information? Of course not. It's my specialty, you know, sometimes plays a role in it, sometimes it doesn't. But also, there are things like ECT and so forth. I may not have all the information on it, but I will try to assist you guys as much as possible. But I do really think that it is a very curious thing whenever it comes down to bioethics and just like ethics as a whole, right? Because who can definitively say what is right and wrong, right? Who can truly say? But anyways, on that note, that is going to be the end of my stream. I did stream for like 10 minutes longer than I had anticipated. But I love you guys so much. You guys mean absolutely everything to me. Thank you so much for listening to me rant in my empty room that I have not furnished, like literally at all. You guys are absolutely amazing. Hater, thank you so much for the 20 gifted subs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Hater. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are so sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I still feel like my eyes are like squinting so bad. Maybe I look squinted. Maybe I don't. We'll see. We'll see when I get my glasses. If you guys like the new glasses better, if you like the old glasses better. But you guys are absolutely amazing. You guys know the drill. Let me not fall out of my chair. The stream will be tomorrow, 7 p.m. CST, just like always. And then we'll talk about bioethics and all that fun stuff. So I guess in the meantime, you guys know the drill. Hive has started streaming, so we are going to raid Hive. This is like so baggy on me. I'm so tiny. Oh, my eyes are so sensitive. But we're gonna raid Hive. I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll talk more so about, you know, just bioethics in general. I can't see much. You know, I'm not even that blind per se. Nurse Jake, thank you so much for the follow. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Susie, welcome to the stream. We're so happy to have you here. You may or may not be able to hear me because I think my stream just died. But let's see. Is it gonna go? I think my stream just died. I can't raid because Streamlabs has just like messed up my stream. Is it going? No, you guys can see me. I just can't see you. How funny. Hater, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Susie. Susie, I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome to the stream. I am super, super happy to have you here. Let me attempt this again. I tried, you guys. There we go. Let me do it. I know, it does cut me off all the time, huh? Okay, alright, so we're gonna raid Hive. I love you guys so, so, so much. I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. CST. I love you guys so much, and there we go. There we go. Raid initiative.